Alrighty, calling this meeting to order. Could we go ahead and do roll call, please?
Sure. Okay. Commissioner Ferguson,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Richardson,
Here.
Commissioner Rex,
Here.
and we are waiting on Commissioner Hoff.
Great, thank you. Moving on. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty good sized agenda today. So, approval of minutes. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Great. First and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to old business. Do we want to do our presentations first or? Okay. So moving on to old business, the participatory budgeting funding application. Do we need to circle back to roll call for Jade or are we, okay.
Hello, Commissioners. While we're getting the presentation going up, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Suzanne Ross Mantle. I'm the staff person assigned to participatory budgeting. I am the digital services specialist here within the city, but this is kind of a project that is really special. So this is what's before you today is a funding application for a mural project from Ward 1, and I'll describe what participatory budgeting is. Some of you may recall from the last time I was before this commission in July, and there are some new faces here. So participatory budgeting is a form of direct democracy where residents decide how to spend a portion of a public budget. There are funds available to each ward. They're available until they're depleted, and it comes from an allocation from the city count from the budget. So it's already set aside. It's not something where we need to worry about funds using them and not becoming available. The residents from each voter ward come together to hold community meetings to choose projects. There's a process where folks will come together, they'll decide how they're going to implement this project, bring community meetings together, get votes from people, get ideas for how to spend this money, get votes from the community on which projects they want to move forward after those projects have been reviewed and vetted by city staff. And then once that goes through that voting process, then those are the projects that would be funded. Here with this most recent cycle, because we've had some problems getting community meetings going forward, we wanted to make sure that these funds were available and not just waiting for someone to come and have the ability and the energy and the commitment and the capacity to put together big community meetings. It's a big push of a project. So council has delegated or it has named Economic Development Commission as a body that can kind of stand in for the public process, and so that we could move to or incorporate a community grant project, essentially. So what you are looking at today are individual submissions that where people say, hey, I have an idea, it fits the guidelines for participatory budgeting. I don't have an avenue to bring this forward because there aren't any community meetings happening. So I'm going to reach out to staff. We work with folks and we develop this into a feasible project, and we bring it to you to decide, to be that members of the public who are reviewing these submissions and deciding whether or not they should be funded. When projects come to you, they have gone through the initial vetting process. Do they follow the guidelines? Are they projects that can be implemented? What does it look like in reality? So we've done all of that work that would have happened in those community meeting processes there. And so the individual applications are vetted, reviewed by staff against the guidelines. And those guidelines are that a project has to be a public good. It can't benefit anyone specifically or any private person or entity. They have to be one-time expenditures. We can't start a program and then continually fund it. They have to be within city limits, and they have to reflect the visions and values of the city of Eureka. And we take that from the current vision statement, which has come out of strategic visioning from the city council. And that says, Eureka, a historic city embracing the future while honoring its natural ancestral heritage, where safety, inclusivity, sustainability, and innovation converge to create a vibrant and thriving community for all. So these are the guidelines that we have. They're very simple. And City Council has allocated $15,000 to each of the 5 voting wards in the most recent participatory budgeting cycle. And of those wards, this project is within Ward 1, and there's $10,000 remaining in that budget there after Eureka Development Commission, or Economic Development Commission, funded the Flacking project, which was the sidewalk repair through Mosaics for $5,000. Okay, so this is our presentation here. And does
Did
anyone
I pause you? Yeah.
I was going to say, does anyone have questions before we move on? There's a lot there.
So, well, I guess I'll give the others a chance first. Does anyone else have any questions?
I mean, I do, but I do, but I would hold them until after I see the presentation.
Okay. I'm jumping the gun here. I wanted to clarify. So, our city staff still pursuing public meetings and more extensive participatory budgeting, or have we pivoted to only these grant application style approaches?
We're doing both. I'm in communication with a community organization to put on a one of the community meetings, but we're in early talks with that, so I don't want to say more than what's been agreed to there. And that we are including these both. If someone says, like, we have the full amount available in Ward 2, if someone said, I want to hold a community meeting in Ward 2, we have that available and we have the support available for them. We're not cutting it off, but we want to make sure that we have these funds available to folks without having to wait for a process that may be much slower.
Mm-hmm. So I would be willing to facilitate a community meeting. I think the last time we talked about this, I had mentioned the possibility of discussing as a group if commission members had the capacity to take the lead in our respective communities to try to lead these community meetings, because I do think that participatory budgeting is a fantastic idea and I'd love to see more involvement, but I also recognize it can be tough to find people like to step up and like be the sole person to take the lead. So I don't know about the others, or if that'll be feasible for your plans. I'd like to continue talking about that option, in addition to like any additional partners who can help facilitate. I think that'd be great. But I think you guys have a lot of capabilities that could really help with this process personally.
I was curious, how are the communities each ward being notified about it? Like, is it something that they're being sent information via the mail, or how are, in order to develop a meeting?
When this was implemented, we had social media pushes, we had pushes through different communication channels, and the process met kind of a slowdown. We had people who were interested and excited, but they had things happen in their lives where they were no longer able to participate. Things come up where jobs change, people have to move, health status changes, and all of these things come together where it limits your capabilities. So. Okay, and Commissioner Richardson, I will follow up with you and Swan about conducting those community meetings. That's music to my ears. I love to hear it.
Great, thanks. And maybe we could discuss that further as a commission when it's appropriate, if anyone else would be willing to help with that too. Please proceed, thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, and so now we're going to talk about the application before us today, and this is from Black Humboldt for a mural project at their office called Honoring Our Lineages, a community mural at the Black Humboldt office. So they're within Ward 1. Ward 1 is located sort of northwest and along the bay there. It bisects Old Town. It contains a lot of Highway 101 and most of the waterfront, most of the working waterfront. The Black Humboldt office is located at 39 5th Street. That's at the corner of 5th and B on 101, Highway 101. And this is their building. This is where they're looking at putting up the mural. So the request is for $5,000 of funding only. This project is not something that needs staff, any sort of staff support. It's not a program or an installation that needs any assistance from us. It's merely for funding. The mural is to be installed on the exterior walls of the building, that second story that wraps around the building, that big blank, beautiful, like that's just a gorgeous canvas that's begging for something there. The design process that they're building is to incorporate community input, to hold community sessions, to gather input, to build that in. And I can't say it any better than they did. This is what's included in your packets there, that the vision of the mural is that it celebrates the African diaspora. The mural will be a vibrant public artwork that celebrates the African diaspora, uplifts local Black and Brown histories, and strengthens cultural identity through storytelling and visual art. So we recommend funding this project. It meets all of those guidelines, and those are detailed in the packet there. I'm happy to discuss that further when we come to the questions portions. If this project is funded, the next steps will be that Black Humboldt will hold community design sessions and finalize the mural concept, then begin right away with the preparations and the gathering of materials and the installation. And then the aim is to hold a public unveiling during Black Liberation Month with other cultural programming during that month. Okay, and that's it for the presentation. So folks have any questions, and I also have a recommended motion when we're ready.
Okay, well, I said I would held my questions, and now they are. First off, I will say that I'm going to preface all this by saying that I 100% support this project, and already would just say, I guess let's fund this. I guess some of my questions are more procedurally related, or also then in terms of precedent setting, just a few clarifications for like moving forwards past this too. One, you already got to the question of like, community meetings and things like that, but it seems like they already have community meetings also built into this process, which is nice. So I think that's good to see. I think that one question I have is, at least while we're in this sort of like this interim phase, while we're still trying to get community meetings back up and happening, I know that like there's the calls have gone out, over our various media, and I'm wondering, are we essentially just saying that it's sort of a rolling grant at this point? And has that been explicitly sort of made clear to the public? Like this is basically just open for application until the money is spent.
It has. There's been communications. I'm not a communications person, so my skills may be lacking there. But we went at the time that this was decided. This was back in April or May of this year. There was information that went out about that, and we did get a number of different applications that have come through. And this body has seen 2 of those before: the flacking and the hydration station that's going in at Cooper Gulch.
And now just to clarify too, like, are there applications that were vetted and approved that we have not seen? Or because I guess I'm just wondering if I'm questioning, like, if we're put in a position as a commission of like choosing or basically following around with staff's recommendations to fund these projects, like, I'm curious about like what sort of pool are we being shown those projects from?
So no applications that have been that have fit all of the guidelines have not come before you. You have seen every every request that has turned into turned into a viable application. There have been people who've come in and said, "Oh, I want to do this," but the project that they were thinking of was not appropriate because it didn't fit all of the guidelines. So we don't have, there's no one right now who is essentially in the hopper that wouldn't get something because you're approving something today.
Cool. I appreciate that. And I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to grill anyone for answers or anything like that. Just want to make sure that like I'm transparently understanding the whole system as it is currently operating. Okay. One last question. And I hesitate to even bring this up because again, I think that this is an amazing project and should go with it. But I just, in the context of public murals before, I know that like, at least on the Arts and Culture Commission, there's this area of like it's of spending city money on murals on private property, and then also like in some cases like how that interfaces or whatnot. And now me personally, I think of like fine, great, whatever. Like I see no problem with that. But I just again wanted to sort of like just touch onto that question a little bit.
Definitely. That's a great question. I think the Art and Culture Commission really specifically gives feedback on murals on city-owned property because this is private property. They wouldn't really give input on the design or the artist selection.
Yeah, no, I guess so. Yeah, and then we figured like that's basically just it's clarified that like for applicants or whatnot that you can be funding projects that it may be a public good, but that is on private property, which I would definitely qualify this project as. You know, that it crosses those lines.
I can see where you definitely can get into the details of it all, but we did look at that. So this is on private property, but it is a public good because of what the mural project does and how it's built. Council previously had approved another project that was kind of in a similar boat. The Eureka Theater is needing funds to upgrade their infrastructure, and they applied, and the council determined that because the Eureka Theater is a historic landmark, it's part of the culture of Eureka, and it's historically important and also important to who we are, that it was determined to be appropriate to fund that project.
Great. I love that. Awesome. And particularly with precedent from council, that's great too. So yeah. Again, back to where I started, which is, I support this, and I'll wait for anyone else to have any other questions or comments, but happy to throw the motion out there as soon as we're ready.
Okay, I'll put that motion up, and I don't see anyone on Zoom from Black Humboldt who may have been here to also speak.
But it doesn't matter. You still have to open it for public comment before you can vote on anything. So
Thanks for the reminder. So I'll take that as my cue. What's it? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry I wasn't here last meeting, but regarding it being on private property, is there any stipulation with the owner that says, well, I won't paint over it next year, or is that nitpicking, or I'm not sure if I might be missing something? No, just curious.
I think that would be between the applicant and their property owner. In the past with the Street Art Festival, we had a contract, but that was because the city was part of the organizer. This is kind of where it's a third party organizing. This is definitely a gray area that we're all figuring out together as we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually cycling back to that. I was like, okay, like, well, it's good to hear from like city council, for example, setting precedent on that. Be like, it's like, okay, we can take some guidance from that as well, which I appreciate. Okay. Public comment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's open up this item for public comment. Okay. Seeing none, closing it. Bringing it back to the commission for a recommendation or a motion.
Sure. I move to approve the project as proposed and award $5,000 for the Black Humboldt mural project.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Great. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And all those opposed, motion carries. I didn't say earlier, but I do want to echo what Commissioner Johnson was saying. I think you did have a good point about the private property issue. I don't have anything to add to that, but I'll just say I appreciate Black Humboldt's work, and I think any and all celebrations of diversity in Eureka benefit everybody. So I think this will be a great mural. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. So moving on to, thank you for your presentation. Moving on to new business. I'm seeing none. So I guess we're jumping into reports and communications. So just going in order, we are going to be hearing about the fishing ad hoc group from Michael Kraft. And then I also invited Commissioner Johnson to share about any of his thoughts from his experience participating in the ad hoc group.
Good evening. I'm Michael Kraft. I used to serve on this commission, and I would have loved to have your agenda tonight. I'm going to stick around and fangirl out on literally the next 3 items, so I like all of that. I am here as a member of the Planning Commission now, and we have, for those of you who haven't been and heard this before, we have something of a joint project between the Economic Development Commission and the Planning Commission to look at some ways that the city might support commercial fishing going forward in Eureka. And so I'm going to do a fairly brief update. There's going to be a longer paper that will come to you and also to the Planning Commission, and there'll be some steps coming out of that, hopefully some recommendations from both of our bodies. But at this point, I just want to give you a few highlights. So since I was last here, Swan Asbury and I have done a number of interviews with people in and around commercial fishing. We have had some things come out that look actionable even in the near term, that a couple of them don't need to go to the city council for recommendations, but that's really the intent, is that some do. And I do want to say thank you to Director Kenyon in the Development Services Division, and to Commissioner Johnson, who have also been steering this, and we're kind of a 4-part committee. If I were you interested in you, I mean, I've been a public speaker a long time, and I'm good at this, damn it. If I were you, I would be interested in just, okay, so what are you finding? What are some of the things that we're likely to hear? So just at a very high level, we've heard quite a bit about ICE and improving access and potentially doing something about the price there. It probably won't surprise those of you who've been paying attention. We've heard quite a bit about cold storage. It's kind of a knotty problem. I was part of studying it a decade ago, but it continues to be an issue that is worth at least trying to do something with, taking a look at it. We've had some pretty narrow suggestions, like one possible code change that we may recommend to the council, your body or ours, is to allow off-the-boat sales on the Eureka side of the bay. As you probably know, you can go over to Woodley Island, buy off the boat there, but there are historical reasons that may no longer apply that wasn't allowed on the Eureka side. There's a dearth of buyers bit of a chicken and egg problem, but ideally, if commercial fishermen could wave their wand, they would have one or two additional buyers that they could sell their products to. You are probably aware of some additional, like boat to fork, the dockside market, some ways to go more direct to consumer, but additional old school fish buyers would also be a great thing. Kind of an ongoing deal for Eureka and the Humboldt Bay Harbor District is dredging, and ways to continue to dredge in the right spots. And in some of the places that dredging is not getting its full share, and I'm not an expert on this, so I'm passing along what I've heard, but there are places where additional dredging would be useful, and it is just candidly an ongoing issue for the city staff and the Harbor District staff to pay for and manage. There's some entrepreneurial ideas in business development. Swan did a very nice job of listening in on these interviews and saying at the end of each one, my takeaways are these. Does that sound right to you? Can I go away and act on some of this? And this is beyond the scope of the city, but because it came up, there's a workforce piece to this. There's, fishing used to be multi-generational, and to some extent it still is, but not nearly as much as it used to be. So are there other ways to train up and draw people in a fleet that's graying? So I think I have asked the staff to vet what I took from that. I've written a draft paper, but I don't want to set up something that is just not possible. Like Director Kenyon saying that would sound like a good idea, except it's not legal in that zone. You can't do that there, which could happen. And I also don't want to set up the staff for something that is just a non-starter or something super onerous. So I have asked Economic Development Manager Asbury, Director Kenyon, and by extension, City Manager Slattery to make sure that we're not sending anything crazy via you or us at the Planning Commission that is just going to be undoable for staff. So as next steps, what I see is in December, having gone through that vetting, I will send the paper to via Swan, I would think, to your commission, send it via Director Kenyon to the Planning Commission. And, I'm not expecting that you think everything we write down is a great idea, but I do hope that you'll look at that and say, okay, here are things that we think the City Council should take a look at. I mean, in the end, the grist for this is recommendations to the council for sometimes code changes, sometimes staff work, that kind of thing. And I would encourage you, it's going to come to you with kind of an introduction, but there's a lot of things I'm not good at, but one thing I am good at is listening to somebody in an interview and getting it right on paper. And if you read through the interviews themselves, you may spot something that I didn't bring forward as a recommendation. You say, actually, we should pay attention to this. Look at it with your own lenses. So that's my quick update. I'd love to have any input from my three comrades who've been through this so far, and I'm happy. I would assume we're all happy to take questions if you have them.
First off, I just want to say a huge thank you to you and also to Swan for going out and doing all those interviews. I know that's always an involved process. If it's still fun to get out there and talk to people, but still it's involved. And I appreciate you taking those steps because I think it's very important. I mean, just a couple of the things as I had said in the last time we met. I mean, certainly there's stuff like cold storage. I know Swan, you and I have talked about that's definitely a problem. It's more of a long range solution, but definitely good that it's on the radar. Particularly from looking at it at a regional level. And I mean, speaking of regional level too, at least my input then and my input now just in this public forum would be that, I mean, particularly from my spaces in looking at economic development and an entrepreneur in an entrepreneurial market that, I mean, absolutely. It's, if you're looking at, I think also if you're looking at workforce development, particularly with a grain fleet, it's like, okay, well, how do we make those jobs more enticing in the first place, right? Which means like we need more customers out there. And I mean, I think that, like, again, I trust Swan explicitly on being able to distill all of these ideas into actionable, low-hanging fruit that will be most efficient. And so I support all that wholeheartedly. And then also, again, just strongly encourage looking at those examples of building good fish markets. I mean, not necessarily literal fish markets, although that may be one of the solutions, but just the overall fish market. Looking at examples. I mean, we have a lot of great examples from up and down the coast, up in Oregon, as well as down Mendocino and down the coast. And to find those examples of tried and true tested things that people have already done and been successful. Because I think there's like no need to reinvent any wheels when there are some perfectly serviceable wheels already along our coastline.
I would echo a couple things on the regional part of what you were saying. There was an additional buyer in a recent season, and prices to fishermen went up as a result, which is in our harbor here, and that's nice. But actually, prices went up in Fort Bragg and Crescent City too. That those fishermen there did better because, boats are mobile and you can take your catch here if our buyer is paying more. And something that Commissioner Johnson knows is that through the Redwood Region Rise process and one of his colleagues in Fort Bragg, there is a statewide, within the Blue Economy Initiative, coming out of a statewide initiative that has to do with regional work and statewide work to do some of this stuff. I mean, ice is an issue in almost every port, just as one example. And that is one, it's kind of, you can go to Fort Bragg and buy ice, but if you're going to be fishing off of Trinidad Head, that's a lot of gas and a lot of time to save the money on ice. So some of those things are hyper-local or quite local, and some of them are indeed regional.
I'd like to add, I'd like to thank Commissioner Kraft. This was a really worthwhile process, and the conversations, I really enjoyed them. And we currently have roughly 75 boats. So that's 75 small businesses in our fleet. And Eureka has always been a working waterfront, and it's part of our identity. And I think it's really appropriate for this commission to be involved in this and supporting the fleet. And already we're taking action on some things that aren't fully baked enough to bring before the commission, but I do sit on the Workforce Development Board, and I've reached out to county staff, and so we've been meeting with the Fishermen's Marketing Association to see how we can immediately support, and if there are pots of money through Headwaters grants or something like that to do what we can to maintain the existing fleet and get them through this season. And it's just been a really positive thing. So,
well, it's been great fun. I mean, I've known Swan for quite a while, but this is the most time we've spent together for some time. Any other questions? Then I will get out of your hair, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 presentations. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate that you took your time to give us highlights. That was actually more than I was expecting. So it was nice to hear what you guys are up to.
Yeah, it's maybe not surprising, but there will be a handful of zoning and regulation things that are planning commission, stuff, but probably 3 times as much that is economic development stuff.
Looking forward to seeing what more comes out of your guys' our partnership, I should say. Great. Well, continuing on, more exciting stuff. Startup Humboldt competition with Samantha. Is that Edwards?
It is.
Great.
It's just an extra E.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Samantha Edwards. I'm the program coordinator for the Startup Humboldt competition. Before I speak in length about the Startup Humboldt competition, I have to tell you a little bit more about Startup Humboldt. Startup Humboldt is a realization of a shared vision, of a shared effort. We understand, of course, that there have been many other economic development and workforce development initiatives in the past, and they often operate in silos. So we are exploring a collaborative approach. We're uniting some of our county's key higher education institutes, leading business organizations, and investment partners to unlock synergies, to nurture innovation, and to stimulate economic growth. So Startup Humboldt is an innovation hub and a home for innovation. Do I have a clicker? Sorry. It's the segue to my next slide. Thank you. I think it's on, maybe. Okay, great. So here are our partners. Cal Poly Humboldt, College of the Redwoods, of course, are our education partners. Our business partners are the SBDC. We have the local North Coast SBDC, which is our regional chapter. And then also, I'm not sure if you're aware, the NorCal SBDC is also located here in Humboldt. That is the lead center for 36 counties in Northern California. The executive director of the NorCal SBDC leads 18 SBDCs as far north as Oregon, as far east as Nevada, and as far south as San Jose. So the SBDC helps support small business owners, providing them with free resources, and it also expands the network of Startup Humboldt. Lost Coast Ventures is one of our investment partners that helps fuel startup growth. We have support from Blue Lake Rancheria at this time, as well as Blue Lake Valley, and we grew out of the Awesome Business Comp, which I will talk about in a bit. So the reason why the Startup Humboldt competition came to be is to address several issues that we see happening. Access to capital is a problem that is experienced here in Humboldt County, as is talent flight. A lot of educated and talented individuals are leaving the area in search of better funded opportunities elsewhere. And when they leave, they take their brilliance and their economic potential with them. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of disinvestment, and something needs to be done in order to change the trajectory. So the founding of Startup Humboldt and this, our flagship initiative, the Startup Humboldt competition, is our catalyst for change. We want to help support the notion that businesses can, of course, be created here in Humboldt, but they can also grow here in Humboldt. They can become successful here in Humboldt, and most importantly, they can stay here in Humboldt. So we're looking to kind of shift that cultural mindset. The new solution is this innovation hub. It's a resource center for our county. It's also a co-working space. There is data on what simply the existence of an innovation hub can do for a small community, especially a rural community. It's uplifting, it's revitalizing, and it's just to spread the notion that there is a support system for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Humboldt County already has such a rich reputation for being a region for creatives, and that creative mindset applies to innovation as well. We are already a very entrepreneurial community, and thus we have to have a strong framework and support system to support all those entrepreneurs. So the flagship initiative is a $200,000 business competition that we are launching December 2nd. We have been in the process of generating awareness, growing this entrepreneurial ecosystem. We've hosted a series of events that I'll talk about on future slides, but the application itself opens week of December 2nd. It will close January 25th. And then the competition happens February to March. Due to the partners within this program, we're offering wraparound mentorship. So the moment a competitor is accepted into the program, they will be linked with a one-on-one business advisor through the SBDC. They will also go through a series of 4 high-level entrepreneurial training courses, and those will each be taught by a Cal Poly Humboldt, or College of the Redwoods professor. So regardless of whether or not that competitor wins access to the $200,000 in milestone-based funding, they will leave the competition with a strong foundation in entrepreneurialism and a clear path to help them launch or scale their business. The competition is open to both people with game-changing concepts or disruptive ideas, meaningful solutions to a significant problem, or pre-existing businesses that are ready to scale. So we're helping create the push, the pull, and the ecosystem. So this is Startup Humboldt competition. We're looking to grow scalable businesses. Our tagline is, got $1 million idea, let's make it 10. We're really trying to support a high caliber of thinking. We're looking for ideas that could be valued at $1 million within a year and could become a $10 million business within 5 to 10 years. We're looking to help grow the next Yakima, the next Wing Inflatables, and to create a sustainable framework that it's not just one Yakima, that there's another Yakima next year and maybe a third year after that. And then we'll certainly, we're not going to offer a $200,000 business competition annually. It might scale back to maybe a $50,000 business competition ongoing, just continuing to create and stimulate that entrepreneurial spark that our county already has. So like I said, $200,000 in milestone-based funding, that's a key differentiator. I'm sure you are very familiar with Economic Fuel that has happened in the past, along with the awesome business competition, 2 other business competition iterations. Several of the advisors and judges and organizers of those past occurrences are part of our committee. So we have learned from those iterations. We have grown from them, evolved. Of course, we're stepping up in terms of the caliber of funding that we're offering. We're also providing wraparound mentorship. They get an advisor day 1. Education is woven throughout the program. And it's not prize money. Other competitions have offered prize money, meaning that truly they could do whatever they want with it. Some people, I believe, went on vacation. That does not develop the economic resilience that we're trying to create here. So milestone-based funding means that whomever wins will go through a post-competition incubation program, and the funding will be unlocked in stages once that competitor hits predetermined growth goals. So it ensures accountability, it ensures impact, and it protects donor investment. So this is somewhat of the poster that maybe you have seen around town at $200,000 in funding. Of course, we had a really great events timeline. We are reaching the end. We had a kickoff party. Over 200 people came to the Startup Humboldt Innovation Hub. We had an ideation workshop taught by a Cal Poly Humboldt professor. The team behind Cypress Grove came in and shared insights from their entrepreneurial journey. Last night, we had a lightning pitch clinic that was hosted by Will Franklin, who is the director of the North Coast SBDC, and co-hosted by Rosa Dixon of Raised Gluten Free, as well as Evan Van Auken, who is a business influencer, as well as the owner of Scorch Marker. So we had some great anecdotal stories to help inspire the audience. We had over 100 people show up, and then we allowed them to get on the microphone in front of the room and share their pitch ideas. So it was very high energy. We're seeing some of the same faces come back over and over, and then we're also seeing new people come every time. So there have already been hundreds and hundreds of people who have come to this event. The final event is on December 2nd, so at the very least, I invite you all to attend. It is going to be a leadership panel. One of the strongest portions of the rubric for this competition is weighted on team. Every successful venture generally has more than one person involved. So we're really trying to create an environment where teams can connect and grow together. So we have on our leadership panel, Michael Spagna, Cal Poly Humboldt's interim president, Jennifer Budwig of Redwood Capital will be on it, S.K. Lee, who is a local investor as well as a leadership Coach will be on the leadership panel, as will be Dan Phillips, who is the co-founder of Lost Coast Ventures. He is a local gentleman who is also the former CTO of Hulu, so he has a great local success story. As I said, February through March is when the 8 touch points will happen, the 4 courses and the 4 mentorship sessions. And then we're going to host a very fun, friendly Humboldt-style Shark Tank event. That's the final pitch competition. That will be in April of 2026. This is just an example of our rubric, and truly it's to remind me to tell you that while the competition focuses mostly on these $1 million ideas, these scalable ventures, we do understand that while that may make the biggest impact on our economy, it will take a long time for anyone to grow a business into a $10 million venture and hire multiple dozens of people. It'll happen, but it'll take years. So in the same time, we also want to honor the value of micro ventures. So we do have one micro venture award. Some of the criteria is there. It's an entity that can operate with 10 or less employees. And most importantly, it will be a team where $10,000 is a significant contribution to their startup or scale-up costs, because what we're looking at is impact. We're really trying to support and nurture the creation of scalable businesses, promising concepts. So why I'm here, one is really just to tell you about it. It seemed like you seemed like the appropriate audience to learn about our economic development initiative. And I would love for you to attend some of the upcoming event if you're available. Also, any recommendations or referrals, we are still fundraising. We've raised a great sum of money thus far, but if you have any sponsorship referrals, any opportunities you can suggest to me, feedback on the presentation itself, ideas for how we operate moving forward. And truly, every contribution to this initiative is a direct investment in local talent and long-term economic resilience. So it's been a really exciting project to champion. And thank you for listening.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. That's very exciting. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Okay, well, I'll probably have to keep myself short here because otherwise I have a lot I want to go off here on. But it was nice because I just thought it was funny because it's great. I was like, well, when they say scaling, what do they mean by 10x? Good. Okay, good. They answered the question. All right, good. They answered my. And I do think that, it is interesting because I think this is a wonderful program and amazing opportunity. But as I said, it's hard under local conditions to be like, we're going to offer $200,000 every single year. This is kind of like a pilot program, or at least trying to draw attention to an endemic issue, which is attracting investment into businesses that, as you say, particularly are scalable. Because we have a lot of amazing small businesses in this area, but the reality is, capital wants to flow towards scaling endeavors these days. I don't know. I'm wondering if I don't want to cause it to having a lot of extra talking to do right now, but to start at Humboldt, I assume you guys are looking at long term, okay, how can we be using the attention drawn to this issue via things like this competition to try and start looking at long term solutions for, again, how do we drive more investment into this community for people who are looking for those sorts of investments?
Of course, we're looking to, one, create a sustainable framework, and two, stimulate that deal flow. Just by having the building, people are already coming in. The woman who's an investor and a leadership coach that's taking part on our leadership panel, we met her because she came into the building. So we're just trying to create opportunities and create an environment that nurtures the solution to the issues that you mentioned.
Great, thank you. No,
Okay.
No, I was I'm cutting myself off. I'm giving myself my own shepherd's hook.
As well, you can ask me any questions you want.
I absolutely will. Thank you.
That's what we're here for, is to talk about these things. So, you sure?
It's a long rabbit hole, and I see at least 3 more presentations people are hanging out here for. So,
I had two little questions. Did you?
I just wanted to ask what we could do to help. This is exciting. We're excited this is happening, and whatever we can do to support, we want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, promotion, helping us promote it, of course, spreading the word about it, telling potential competitors about it, telling potential sponsors about it. We are going to be looking for a larger space to hold the final pitch competition, as we've realized, even though we wanted to have the party at our house, we may have already outgrown it. We're already hitting, almost capacity at the networking events that we're hosting. So we kind of want to host a larger, most inclusive final pitch competition. So if there's an available space for that, that would be wonderful. And then just keeping me or our team abreast of any financial support opportunities or any other opportunities that would be relevant to our initiative. The more that our community can get involved in this, the more impactful it could be. All of the members on the committee, we aren't benefiting from this individually in any clause fine print way. We're all nonprofits that have united to bring this initiative to fruition. So we appreciate any support, any and all.
Just a real quick question. So that was one of my questions. I assumed that you're a nonprofit. Is this competition, it's only for for-profit businesses, or is it for nonprofits as well?
It is simply because
That's
the
what I thought.
SBDC can only work with
Right.
for-profit
Right.
businesses. So we're kind of held by the rules of our particular nonprofits.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So I had two questions. One, I apologize if I missed this, but the end of your presentation was talking about micro enterprises. So is that a separate small award, or how did that work?
So there's a pool of $200,000 in milestone-based funding, and there will at least be two winners. There will be the micro venture winner that will win likely $10,000, could be up to $25,000, and then the rest of the pool may go to one scale venture winner. Part of the pool may go to it. We're not in it to give money away. We want it to be impactful, and it's in essence needs based. If there is an idea that only needs $85,000 and there's some money left over in that milestone based funding pool, it will go to the next year's competition. So there will definitely be two winners, and we don't know how many more. There's not going to be 10 winners, simply because we don't want to dilute the winnings so much so that it's not impactful.
And then second, so Startup Humboldt, is that it sounded like you're talking about that as more of a long-term thing. So is that the initiative having to do with this competition strictly and future efforts specific to this, or is that actually an organization that's some kind of coalition, including the SBDC organization? What exactly is it? I'm not clear.
That's a great question. Startup Humboldt is an innovation alliance between Cal Poly Humboldt, College of the Redwoods, the NorCal SBDC, the North Coast SBDC, and Lost Coast Ventures. So they came together, they founded the building, rented the building. The SBDC lives there. Cal Poly Humboldt and College of the Redwoods have office space there. And then we also have office space open to, it's a co-working space for the community as well. So the building is an innovation alliance. And then the competition is the flagship initiative of that alliance, if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. That helps clarify. Yeah, it's great to see all of you come together. I have to ask, the Chamber, Eureka, Chamber of Commerce, are they involved? I didn't hear their name, or did I just miss it?
I have been in communication with them, and I've been told that there's been promotional support, but beyond that, no additional support or avenues for communication have been offered.
Okay. I had to ask. I'm curious. Great. Yeah, I think that's all of my questions. Excited to see the winners and all the great new business ideas. I work at a nonprofit, and we have a lot of we have a workforce development program, and I'll be sharing it with my colleagues and see if we have anyone interested in starting businesses and see if they can sneak in at the end.
Be great.
We'll see, but we'll definitely get the word out there. So appreciate you sharing that with us. Does anyone else have anything?
Okay.
No question, just really happy to hear that you're addressing the silo problem in nonprofit and business development world. There's a lot of help out there that people don't necessarily know about because everybody kind of stays in their own lanes. And so it's nice to see everybody working together on this.
Thank you. Hope to see you all on December 2nd, and I'll send you invites for April when I know more.
Please do. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to offer we'd love to provide a venue for that if you're interested.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
Also, our mayor sent a letter of support for the program, and so we'll just continue to bring this back to the commission and keep you all updated. It's really exciting.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Moving along. We are now at Choose Humboldt Shop Local campaign with Charlene Cook.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlene. Oh, I guess I'll mute this. I am the Programs and Marketing Director with Humboldt Made, and I'm here to talk to you about Choose Humboldt and give you a little update on where we are right now with this project. So I just want to bring up my stats from this weekend from the launch so I know I have them right. So Choose Humboldt is an initiative that started during COVID to help businesses that really had to pivot, and we had a call from some businesses to bring that back. And so we worked with Jen McFerrin to do a little glow up of the branding, and we've been working on bringing it back with some new and exciting components. We're working collaboratively with the Chambers of Commerce, Eureka, Arcata, McKinleyville, Southern Humboldt, pretty much everybody, all the chambers have been very involved in helping us compile lists of businesses to participate in our digital passport program. So let's see, this one just over. There we go. Okay, so the Digital Passport is a 3-passport program that we're running. Starting now, we launched over the weekend at the Eureka Old Town Holiday Open House, which was very successful. Lots of people came out. Our first passport is a Shop Humboldt Passport Challenge, and it's a digital app that people download on the App Store, and they just engage with participating businesses by checking in, leaving reviews, liking, sharing these businesses. For checking in, they do have to physically be at the place. They can't just be at home checking in everywhere from bed. But it really encourages people to go out and explore. I've heard people already tell me that they've discovered new shops that they never knew existed, which is like my favorite parts. So this weekend, it launched on Friday, and we already have over 1,300 interactions with businesses. We're really excited about the feedback. There have been a couple little glitches. They agreed to do our entire county. They typically work with just one city. They've done passports in Oakland, Portland, San Antonio, and Washington, D.C. And Rosa and I were like, how about you do our whole county, because we're basically one city? And they agreed. They also agreed to do about double as many businesses as they usually do. And so they've been very responsive in helping us resolve little glitches that have come up in the first 4 days. But the feedback from our community has been really great so far. And working with everyone has been really great too. So the way that it works is people download Vibe Map, they engage with businesses, and then they get points that get them badges, and they'll be entered to win prizes. And the prizes are all locally sourced. We're buying gift cards. We are putting together Humboldt-made gift baskets. And our grand prize is going to be an overnight stay at a B&B, a dinner gift card, and some local wine and chocolate. So these are really incentivizing. Every time we've told people about the prizes, when we're tabling at events, they're very excited to participate and get some of these things. So we went to both the Old Town Open House and Arcata Open House, tabled, talked to the community about what it is that we're doing, and gave free tote bags to people that downloaded the app and started participating. So we printed, like I said, we have tote bags, we have info cards that we're giving out, we have our posters hanging up everywhere. We got stickers. We're also going to be on the back of Insider Magazine coming up in the next quarter. We're running some radio ads and overall just getting a lot of participation, good feedback from businesses. This was no cost to businesses. They did not have to pay to be a part of this. They don't have to donate anything to be a part of this. It's very low impact for them, or low cost, high impact, hopefully, at the end of this. So yeah, our update, like I said, we have 1,300 interactions so far. We've had 18,000 points already accumulated. People are very excited to get their points. I've already been asked, why can't we see the leaderboard? I want to know who's in first place. But yeah, it's really to boost the traffic, visibility of shops, to get people excited to shop local. And we're going to go into 3 more passports, or 2 more. We'll have the Dine and Stay in January and February, and then Experience Humboldt running May through October for all of our cool activities and events and fun things that happen in Humboldt. So we're really using this first one to see how it goes, see what we need to fix, see who else we can get involved. And yeah, I would like to answer questions about it, because I know this came about kind of fast and some people have not even heard about it. So yeah, any questions about this?
So I'm going to jump in here because this is cool. I like this for a lot of reasons. I mean, first off, I've just been kind of, some might say, ranting for a while now about the importance of gamifying these sorts of things, right? I mean, like these sorts of customer or like traveler when engagement. I mean, people, as we've seen before, I mean, I've always said lots of market research too. People love points. We love points. Badges, just inject them straight into our veins. We love that. So I'll be really curious to see how how the metrics continue to go here, because I absolutely like my own take on it is this is absolutely the right kind of direction to go, that we need these kind of interactive experiences. I think that not only is this great for driving local traffic to businesses and organizations, which we all desperately need, but particularly right now in this climate, but also, I mean, and I'm speaking, of course, because, we were all at some of these meetings regarding tourism and travel in the county as well. I'm looking at the Visit California, or the Visit Welcome Center here in Eureka, the folks running that. And I mean, I think that looking at these sorts of like experiments with this app and here whatnot also seem to me to be a really potentially powerful way to engage with an issue that we have seen identified with the county, which is people traveling to be like, well, what do we do? Where do we go? How to so many people I talk to will say like, hey, like the most successful experiences I remember like friends of mine having when traveling to Humboldt was when they knew someone who was going to just show them around. If you don't have like your own personal concierge, it can be very challenging. So I look at an app like this, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is something we should be looking more closely at, not just for locals, but in terms of how we can expand that beyond. And just because this is how my brain works, I like connecting things with other things I just recently heard. If we're thinking about also like gathering investment, bringing in, trying to avoid that talent drain, bringing in new talent, encouraging investment in our communities. Just yesterday, I was coming across a great webinar from Future Partners Travel Insights, and they finally dropped a figure that I've been looking for a long time and finally found, which was that they had done their survey, and they said that out of their survey respondents, 38% said that they had based where they decided to currently live based off of having traveled there in the past and having had a positive experience. So I'd known that as kind of like just general sort of like common sense collective knowledge for a while, but I was like, I need a number. And like finally yesterday, I was like, there it is. There's the number. So, I mean, when you think about that, nearly 40% of people deciding to stay in it or deciding to buy a house, move to a community or whatnot, because they're like, oh, wow, remember when we went to Eureka and like we had a really great time because we opened up that Choose Humboldt app and we were just sent on a wild caper of adventures, right? Like, I mean, like that, by the numbers has an incredibly positive effect on future investment. So anyway, that's all I got to talk about.
Well, thank you. I really liked that. I actually was at Venetia getting some food for lunch, and there was two girls sitting at the bar also getting lunch, and they struck up conversation with the bartender about what to do because they were visiting. And I was like, well, I've got something for you. They downloaded the app right there. They loved it. They were super excited to go around Arcata and check in at places, and like, they're only there for a day, they said, and they still wanted to participate in it. So it is neat because it gave them something to do and check out. And so, yeah, it's definitely very user-friendly for anybody that's visiting. It is directed at our locals, but very easy for anyone visiting to participate in. And the interactive map is really easy to follow along with. So, for sure, good for tourists.
Can I ask a quick question? So, yeah, you were just saying that it's more directed at the locals. So, for instance, like, for our hotel guests that come and stay, what is the advantage for them? Because there are a lot of people that come through and say, which, you know, besides walking around Old Town and going to the zoo because they've heard about the Skywalk, but what else like is in it for them?
So they can still also win the prizes. If it's somebody, we will ship the gift baskets to them. We are utilizing local prizes, so like gift cards and stuff. So maybe that will bring them back in if they won the gift card pack or the overnight stay somewhere. But yeah, it's incentivizing for anyone to participate. In one day, you could easily earn a level 2 badge, which gets you in the drawing for some of the bigger prizes. So it's incentivizing for anyone, locals and tourists. We just, really wanted to speak to our locals and say, hey, shop local, choose Humboldt, because it's choose Humboldt. But that really is open to choose Humboldt as your vacation place. Choose Humboldt as somewhere you're going to move because you loved your vacation. So yeah, I think that it's great for hotel guests, and hotels will be on the next one. So we definitely want to.
Yeah, no, talk to me about be happy to donate a night stay or something like that for it. So yeah, we'll reach out. Thank you.
I thought it was smart to roll it out for the holidays when people are motivated to shop local or at least like the message. So I appreciated that you're kind of piloting additional like future packages by starting with the holidays.
Yeah, I thought that doing that would help us like roll it in. Because Sue from Bell Star, she's been very active in this. And she was like, well, I don't want it to just be the holidays. I'm like, no, we're going to roll it out to everyone, get it in their heads, and then we'll keep bringing it back. So we have logos for each of the sectors that are going to keep coming through in this campaign. So yes, rolling it out in the holidays was like let's get everyone while they're already shopping, but then keep it in their brains for the rest of the year.
I just want to add, so in the past years, we've done a whole Shop Eureka campaign, and it just felt really important to do a regional version this year. We are all in it together. And so we recently updated our funding agreement with Humboldt Made. We fund Friday Night Market. And so we added an additional $5,000 to go towards this campaign. And then also one of our future presentations, when Melissa presents about the Eureka for the Holidays, the Eureka Mayors Coalition, we've been integrating the Choose Humboldt stuff into the posters that are getting printed for all of the Eureka promotion. And so we're going to be promoting this. You'll see those posters popping up all over, and we'll be handing them out to all of our business districts, and we're excited.
Thanks. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is I work in Old Town. I haven't seen flyers for it. I'm not on social media that much, so I didn't know if I just missed it. So flyers would also be good for us non-social media folk.
Yes, our posters for ours, they're doing the Eureka poster, our Shop Humboldt posters that I posted in that slide. They started going out Friday. So everything was, Vibe Map also rushed the app. They said it usually takes them X amount of weeks to do it. And we were like, how about half that time? And they got it done for us, but getting the information with the QR code to get the posters printed was pretty last minute. But you should start seeing more and more posters popping up, as well as little table tents at the registers at checkout. And we're going to put some in restaurants. I also have coasters for our local bars and maybe some cities or have people that would travel here too for the ongoing campaign.
Great. Yeah. As you think about possible future ways to use it, including tourism, which is fine if it doesn't. I also think that we need to continue to build up, local activities for locals. But if we do have a focus on tourism, I'd be interested on what kind of location tracking, or even just a single question like where are you coming from or where do you live kind of a thing would be interesting, unless it already does that.
So the information that it tracks for us is a little more limited, but we plan to do a survey. We get everyone who signs out or starts participating in the passport, all of their emails. So we're going to offer another incentive for them to fill out a survey at the end of each passport. We'll send it out to all the participants with more in-depth questions like that, like where are you from? About how much money do you think you spent when you were out, and just like age range, because all it collects from them is their name and their email address. That helps people be a little more comfortable with their privacy, not having to create a huge account. But then we're going to incentivize like, hey, there's going to be a raffle for all the people that fill out this survey and give us that extra data that we really want. So I'll definitely make sure that goes on there.
I just wanted to say that at the Eureka Welcome Center, we do have a stack of the posters if somebody needed to get one immediately.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll see if we can come by and grab one.
Do you have brochures there as well, or no? Can we get like some brochures so that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, exciting. And I'm sure our City of Eureka social media will be all over that, and looking forward to participating. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, continuing on. Eureka for the Holidays from the Eureka Mayor's Coalition with Melissa Blanford.
Hi, thank you. My name is Melissa Blanford, and I'm here with Illuminated Marketing on behalf of the Eureka Mayor's Coalition to share a little about Eureka for the Holidays, a new collaborative campaign that's designed to celebrate what makes Eureka so special during the holiday season. So really this project was born from the vision of the Eureka Former Mayors Group, a group that came together with one shared goal to unite our city around the holidays, support our local businesses and organizations, and to make it easier for everyone to celebrate together. So, each year businesses and organizations and nonprofits across Eureka are pouring their hearts into creating events and experiences that are making the holidays a more magical time. But that does take a lot of time, money, coordination. You are relying on a lot of word of mouth. So Eureka for the Holidays was created to bring all of that together under one joyful, cohesive campaign. And that's going to be, celebrating every corner across our community, across different budgets, backgrounds, beliefs. This effort really is about being collaborative, and we've been collaborating with some really great people, but it's really about lifting up the many traditions that already make Eureka shine each year and each holiday season. So it makes it easier. Hopefully this campaign is making it easier for residents and visitors alike to find, attend, and support these community events that happen each year. And so the creative heart of this campaign is really built around the idea of celebrating Eureka's warmth, weird, and whimsiness. So to bring that to life, we did partner with a local artist that goes by Calcium Art, and they designed 3 playful mascots who represent a beloved part of our city and the spirit of the holidays here in Humboldt. And the first mascot that you'll meet tonight is Mr. Chris Kringlefoot. He is Humboldt's friendliest Sasquatch. You might even spot him around Old Town with a cup of hot cocoa, admiring the gazebo lights, checking off his local shopping list. He represents the magic of Old Town and the importance of shopping local this holiday season. And then next you'll meet Yule, our holiday banana slug who brings the sparkle to Henderson Center. Yule might be seen carrying a toy from the toy box, picking up a pastry from maybe Cherry Blossom Bakery, always celebrating the community traditions that take place each year and friendly competition like the annual decorating contest. He's a reminder of how our neighborhoods light up with creativity and connection. And then my personal favorite, Red. She is our beloved redwood tree. She loves getting dressed up for the holidays, and she really represents all of the festive happenings that happen citywide, from the Christmas lights at Pearson's to the events that happen at the Sequoia Park Zoo. Red symbolizes how nature, community, and celebration really all do come together each year in Eureka. So you're going to start seeing a lot of our mascots throughout the community, specific to Eureka, from shop windows, social media posts, flyers, coloring sheets that businesses can hand out to kids. All of that leads back to our online hub, visiteureka.com/holiday, and that site is already live. We are currently still taking event submissions, and that site will feature a calendar of holiday events across the city, all in one place, so people don't have to rely on word of mouth or just seeing a random social media post. They can find everything happening all in one place. There's going to be stories from the mayors about why this campaign matters, a business toolkit with downloadable graphics and templates for businesses to use and share with their audiences, and ways for residents and visitors to plan their holidays a lot more easily and joyfully. As I said, we are still taking event submissions. So if you do have an event, or if you know of someone having an event, you can visit this website or find me and I can get you to the right place. And really, this campaign is about making the holidays a little more easier, a lot more fun, and just a less stressful planning process, which I know it can be a really hectic time of year for all of us. So we are really grateful to the city of Eureka and our partners and local businesses for making it happen. And we hope to see you guys spreading the word and sharing it with everyone else. It's a little bit more of a whimsy presentation you got, but...
So are there really mascots? There are like people in costumes wandering around?
I don't know about a costume, but you might see a little glimpse here and there in a shop window, I'd say. And we did recently print out a bunch of gift tags that we're distributing to the businesses, because I know in Old Town, and even all across Eureka, when we're providing, or when they're wrapping presents, we do have that branding that we've provided free to businesses as well. So.
Yeah, I love the design.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Yeah.
The stories are very festive.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great.
I have to ask for my kids. Are the coloring sheets on the website?
Yeah,
Okay.
They should be available to download.
Okay.
If
Or I'll
not,
email you.
yeah, I think that's a great idea. Okay. Yeah.
Also, I just want to add in with the coloring sheets. I do have them printed at the Welcome Center, so if any of the businesses want to stop by because maybe they can't print there, we can provide them for them. And your kids.
Not just you. All right.
Great. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Once again, there's a lot going on, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Swan, you guys have been busy in your department, participating in lots of initiatives. I guess the holidays are busy. Okay, sorry. So continuing on, last one, 6th annual home for the holidays decorating contest. Madison Green.
Yes, thank you. I'm not sure if I have met all of you, but for those of you I haven't met, my name is Madison Green. I'm the newest member. Oh, wait, just kidding. I'm no longer the newest member. I was the newest member of the team, but I no longer am. And I work at the Welcome Center. My primary role there is to oversee the operations, and then I have a variety of other projects that I work on. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about Home for the Holidays, the decorating contest. This is our 6th annual decorating contest. It's a time that we're inviting our community residents to really showcase their style and their spirit with the individualized holiday decor. This is a really great, charming activity that's held every year. So I'm glad you guys were able to get the presentation you just had, because as you can see, we have pulled all of the graphics for it. We are incorporating this into our project, and in the timeline, you can see Yule here. He is our resident banana slug with legs. Our registration period is November 10th through December 7th, so essentially right now. Our public voting period is December 9th through the 31st, and then our winners are going to be announced January 6th, so the first council meeting in January. And new this year, we have shuttle viewing, so we are doing that in partnership with HTA. And we are going to be inviting anyone and everyone to come and enjoy some treats, hot cocoa, cider, and then every hour on the hour from 6 to 8 p.m., We're going to have about a 30-minute tour where we're going to go around the residence and some awesome homes in Eureka. And that'll be held on 2 days, the 17th and the 18th of December. All right, so here we have some community incentives, and I wanted to highlight community incentives because not only are homes able to win prizes from local Eureka merchants, but it's also a boost to our local businesses. A lot of these homeowners and residents are purchasing supplies at these local businesses and decorating their homes. They're also having their out-of-town family visitors come and stay, and it's something fun for them to go out and do, see these homes. So it's a great opportunity to invite our neighboring cities to come to Eureka. Our community engagement, residential pride in general, that's awesome. People are going to take pictures, put it on social media, tag City of Eureka, and promote their home to come and vote. So just right there's a nice segue and tie together. Our measurable year-over-year benefits, as we keep going through the years of this, we're going to see how this improves. Like I said, bringing our neighboring cities in, it becomes a tradition. Then we go to Eureka, we review, or we see the houses, we hop on that HTA shuttle and just get to see everything. And then that's all going to be at the Welcome Center. I forgot that key part. It's taking off at the Welcome Center, which is in Old Town. And where can I get more information, register, vote, see a timeline of events, and learn about prizes? You can do that at the City of Eureka website. We have these QR codes that are going around. We're also sharing this on social media, so you'll see it there as well. Do you have any questions?
Is this for homes, residential, just in the City of Eureka that can decorate, or throughout?
It's throughout Eureka.
Throughout Eureka. Okay. And are you encouraging using the theme of the banana slugs in there?
I mean, it's going to be public voting, so it's going to be completely up to the public. But, there is a mayor's pick on there, and they might tie it together, and it could be a thing. Mm-hmm.
I see that you guys have what I'm assuming is a past competitor here on the slide.
Yes.
So, do you guys save the pictures for future use?
We do.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
In the registration portion, there's some rules and guidelines to how you participate, and one of them is that we take pictures and we put it on social media as well as in the voting process so that people can see.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize it was also, that would make sense. It's also online. I was thinking of saving the pictures for future Eureka Christmas books.
Yes, yes. We do have a lovely little library that is currently working on right now.
Oh, exciting.
Curious, do you actually actively go out because sometimes you'll see houses and then leave them a little flyer to say, hey, you should register?
Oh no, I'll be out there.
Oh, good. Okay.
With some yard signs too.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else?
I really love that you have the HTA shuttle. That sounds like a really awesome addition, and I'm really looking forward to participating.
Yeah, and that was a great connection that council member Castellano was able to make for us. Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, once again, exciting for all the stuff that's happening, or I am excited for. Thank you for sharing. Looking forward to it. If there's nothing else, then we'll finish up with the reports and communications. Are there any oral communications that any of the commission members would like to share? Anything going on? Swan, did you go down to the California Economic Summit? Did I see you?
I did not. I was decorating Old Town. Everything has happened all at once.
That's important work, though.
Yes.
It does look really nice.
Thank you.
I went for work down to the summit, and it was inspiring to hear the governor who swung by and gave a speech about priorities for the state going forward, and really the whole thing kind of emphasized the Jobs First program. So I was glad that our region is so active. I feel like we're a great example, and I saw a pretty large group of people from Humboldt actually at the summit. So I feel like we were overrepresented as a teeny little county up here, which was great to see. And I hope, I guess I want to ask, are we still actively participating in that as the city? Great. I haven't been to those meetings in a minute, so yeah, I just thought I would share that. Anyone else? That's it. That's all I have. Okay. Well, then moving on to adjournment for the holidays. It's great to see you all. I'm glad we could
Hey,
sneak
wait,
one in.
before you go.
Oh, what I missed?
Technically, oral communication is for people who want to talk about something that's not on the agenda.
Oh, did I jump forward to
No, that's what oral communication is.
Oh, thank you.
It's for people who are either watching or in the audience that want to talk about something you guys don't have, so maybe they can get on another agenda.
I see. I just totally misunderstood that.
That's perfectly fine. I just want to
So
let you
we
know, so you
wanna-
have to open
open
and close it for
Gotcha.
oral communications, and then we go on.
Okay, so psych, opening for oral communications to the public, should anyone who is a ghost wish to comment. And now closing it.
Maybe the people that's watching the TV in the front lobby.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Unfortunately not, maybe next time. So closing oral communications. Now we're good to adjourn. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now happy holidays.